Assalamualaikum and good day everyone. My name is Nasrullah bin Azmi. My student ID is 2026134101. Today I'm going to discuss with you about Become Ocean by John Luther Adams, a contemporary orchestral work composed in 2013. This piece is inspired by the ocean and addresses one of the most important issues facing our world crisis today, which is the climate changes, especially rising of the sea levels. In this presentation, I will briefly introduce the composer, the background of the work, and explain how music can be used to raise environmental awareness. John Luther Adams is an American composer whose music is deeply inspired by nature, particularly the landscapes of Alaska where he lived for many years. He composed Become Ocean to reflect the beauty, power, and vastness of the ocean while expressing concern about the effects of climate change. The work premiered in 2013 with the Seattle Symphony and received international recognition, winning the 2014 Pulitzer Prize for Music and the 2015 Grammy Award for Best Contemporary Classical Composition. Now, I'm going to pass to the other members.
Assalamualaikum and hi everyone. My name is Muhammad Atif Darwish bin Anwar Ilmi. My student ID 2026102033 and I'm from MU230. Today, I will give a brief overview of the musical style in Become Ocean by John Luther Adams. Become Ocean is a contemporary classical work inspired by the power and beauty of the oceans. Instead of using a traditional melody or story, Adam creates a musical experience that makes the audience feel as if they are surrounded by the sea. The music slowly changes over time, just like the movement of ocean waves. One of the main characteristics of this piece, it is minimalist influence, using simple musical ideas that are repeated and developed gradually rather than sudden change. The music grows and transforms very slowly, creating a calm and immersive atmosphere. Adam carefully blends the sound of strings, woodwinds, brass, and percussion to create rich, flowing layers that resemble the movement of water. The piece also makes effective use of dynamics, which means change in volume. The music gently rises that falls, becoming louder and softer like the tides of the oceans. This gradually dynamic change makes the music feel natural and continuous.
Hi, my name is Nur Ramdan Shah bin Safi. My student ID is 2026 Number 4. Environmental concern and musical structure. In Become Ocean, John Luther Adams uses the musical structure to express environmental concern, especially climate change and the rising sea levels. Instead of explaining these issues with words, he lets the music create the feeling of the ocean and its constant movement. First, the piece has a wave-like musical form. The music slowly grows louder and then becomes softer again. Just like the movement of wave, this pattern continues throughout the piece, giving listener the feeling of being surrounded by the sea. The slow rise and fall of the music also creates a calm but powerful atmosphere. Next, the piece has a symmetrical structure. This means the beginning and the ending are very similar, making the music feel balanced and complete. This structure reflects the natural cycles of the environment, where many events repeat over time. At the same time, it reminds us that nature is always changing, even if those changes happen slowly.
Hi, my name is Muhammad Zahir bin Muhammad Rashid and my student ID is 2026134869, and today I'm going to talk about music as an activist tool. In my part, I will discuss how Become Ocean work as an activist tool. Although the piece has no lyric or spoken message, it encouraged people to think about the climate change and our relationship with nature. First, it raised awareness of climate change. John Luther Adam composed Become Ocean to express the concern about environmental issues, especially rising sea level caused by climate change. The music creates the feeling of the ocean becoming larger and more powerful, reminding listeners of the possible effects of global warming. Instead of explaining the problem directly, the music encouraged people to think about these environmental challenges. Second, it creates emotional engagement without lyrics. Unlike many songs that use words to deliver a message, Become Ocean relies only on orchestral sound. The slow changes in dynamics, texture, and orchestral layers create an immersive experience, making listeners feel calm at first, but also overwhelmed as the music grows in intensity. This emotional response helps people connect with the environmental message on a deeper level. The composer allows each listener to interpret the music and think about their own responsibility toward nature. Become Ocean demonstrates that music can be a powerful form of environmental activism. Even without lyrics, it raises awareness about climate change, creates a strong emotional connection, and encourages us to reflect on our relationship with the natural world. That's all from me.
Assalamualaikum and hi, my name is Muhammad Tikman bin Nurani, and now I would like to highlight some interesting musical features of Become Ocean by John Luther Adams. One of the most unique aspects of this composition is that the orchestra is divided into three separate musical layers, with each layer moving at a different speed. These layers gradually overlap and blend together, creating the impression of oceans, waves, and currents that are constantly moving. Another important feature is that texture is more important than melody. Unlike many orchestral works, there is no main tune for the audience to follow. Instead, John Luther Adams combines different orchestral sounds to create a rich and powerful textures. And then, the piece also creates an immersive listening experience as the music slowly grows louder and then becomes quieter again, making the audience feels like they are floating on the ocean. And the changes of dynamics makes the sense of space, depth, and movement, making the music feel almost like a natural environment. Finally, the entire work is filled with environmental symbolism. The rising wave of sound can be interpreted as rising sea level caused by climate changing. The massive orchestral climax represents of overwhelming power of nature, reminding us that environment is more important than humanity.
To conclude, Become Ocean combines musical creativity with environmental issues. Through its unique structure and orchestral texture, John Luther Adams demonstrates how contemporary music can communicate important social and environmental issues in a meaningful way. It reminds us that music is not only a form of artistic expression, but also a powerful medium for inspiring awareness and reflection. Thank you for your attention. That is all from my group.